Hello, class. Good evening. The issue most relevant to this class toolbox discussion for me that I'm going to discuss is homeless housing, specifically in the Bronx. Recently, there were reports by local news media of a homeless shelter coming to the Parkchester neighborhood. I do not reside in that neighborhood, but it is very close to where I am, so it was still relevant to the discussion and to myself. The shelter is part of a new initiative by the current Mayor's Office de Blasio administration, along with the Department of Homeless Services, DHS. Their goal is to increase housing. The local political leaders in the district, which is District 9, are rallying against its opening. They are working with local community board members, along with local religious leaders and clergy. Security is one of the concerns that the community is citing as a reason for their advocacy against the shelter coming in. So the church is addressing its location to schools as being one of the reasons. And the Department of Homeless Services, as well as the mayor's office, have actually tried to address those concerns, and they released information stating that there will be a curfew in place in the shelter, and the NYPD will be in charge of security. Now, this is going to be about a 140 to 150 occupancy building, all males. So this is the concern of the church. And if NYPD has to, I guess, control or manage the security aspect of it, that is a little concerning as to what type of residents, what type of background do these individuals have that would be entering the community. So for these reasons, the community members have been advocating for a different location. Schulman tells us on page 813 of our textbook, he defines advocacy in social work settings as championing the rights of individuals or communities through direct intervention or through empowerment. In this aspect, the community members are rallying to intervene against the shelter. And with that, they are learning to empower themselves and learn to speak up, advocate for their rights, gather information, and go up against the mayor's office and the Department of Homeless Services, which is never easy going up against such a large power base, essentially. The community has come together as a team, so they're essentially team building to condense their influence and their voice in order to negotiate a different outcome. For this example, a different outcome would constitute as a different location, essentially. That's the gist of it. I believe the political activist approach, as well as community building, community development approach are being used because the community members are connecting to outside resources by utilizing their local politicians. Reverend Ruben Diaz is one, along with the Bronx Borough President, actually, Ruben Diaz Jr., are the politicians that are most voicing their opinions against the shelter. And the religious leaders, specifically in the Parkchester community, from St. Helena's to be specific, they are working together to develop a legitimacy for their concerns. This seems to be very similar to the case scenario where the community members really didn't feel that their voices or their opinions were really being heard until the social worker actually got involved and legitimized their concerns. They are also collaborating to advocate for the neighborhood stakeholders. So those are the skills that they are actually using. And as a social worker, I would continue utilizing, working with them from a strength-based perspective, reminding them and empowering them, encouraging them, of the work that they're doing, reminding them that it's not easy to go up against the mayor's office. And even if they don't feel they are completely successful, they might be successful in some aspects of what it is that they're trying to achieve and accomplish. I would also utilize parts of motivational interviewing when working with the different parties involved. As I stated, some may be more skilled at advocacy and expressing their concerns, such as those coming from more of the political realm, while others may be conflicted with their desires to not have the shelter in their neighborhood, but also religious and moral obligations to other human beings and to share the same space who also have the same needs of housing. So that would be the issue most relevant, and those would be the skills used in solving or working with the community against that problem. So I just wanted to make a mention that sometimes advocacy, collaborating, team building, negotiating, those skills could also be used pro or for a specific topic. And in this situation, I wanted to choose a topic where the community members are actually against the homeless shelter coming in. So they are utilizing all those skills, but against a certain, I don't want to say conglomerate, but against a certain higher power, which is the Department of Homeless Services and the mayor's office. Not sure how successful they'll be, but I'll definitely attach the links to some of the media coverage involved. Thanks, everyone, and enjoy your break. Bye-bye.